Hey everyone, welcome to my channel #VPT Study Point. I'm Vinay and I'm today going to explore you the most impressive tool of the analytical chemistry, and that is ICP-MS. Now what does this ICP-MS means? This ICP-MS is inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometer. Now you might be wondering, what's the big deal about this ICP-MS? Well, this is a machine which is a powerhouse, which is really a powerhouse, powerhouse for detecting and quantifying the trace elements and their relevant isotopes from the samples. Now you can say it is a super sleuth. It is a super sleuth for uncovering the secrets hidden in your samples. Let's break it down a bit. The ICP parts. Now this ICP parts stands for inductively coupled plasma. It's a high energy ionizing plasma that transforms your sample, which may be a liquid or maybe a solid, a sample into a charged particle. Now, one thing I want to tell you, that in this machine, whatever sample being used by you, it may be liquid or solid as I told you, but firstly, the solution should be made of those samples. And this solution will always be in the liquid form. They may be diluted, and before diluted, they may be digested by chemicals, by acids. Basically, here in this machine, we use nitric acid for the digestion and making the solutions of the samples. So, apart from this, following all these processes, when we do convert the sample into the liquid form, this liquid sample may be injected into the system. And when this sample injected into the system, it then converted into a plasma to charged particles. Now these charged particles, they are then analyzed by the mass spectrometer, that is MS. So the mass spectrometer sorts these ions by their mass to charge ratio. Now mass to charge ratio is a very important fundamental, very important principle of this machine. So this mass spectrometers sort out these ions by their mass to charge ratio. And this way the machine helping us to identify and measure the presence of elements in the instrument. So how does this all work in practice? Today I'll be showing you how we prepare a sample and run it through ICP-MS. We will look at the entire process from sample introduction to data analysis. Whether you are a science enthusiast, a student, or just curious for the science, or you are just curious for about to learn the advanced technology in the laboratories technique, you are in here for a treat. First up, we need to prepare our sample. Now, whether you are a science enthusiast or a student or just curious about how advanced lab techniques may work, you are in here for a right treat. Now, if we are talking about the ICP-MS technique, we want to analyze our samples into the instrumentation, then we have to prepare our sample first. Now, how can we prepare our sample? How can we prepare our sample in the right manner, in a proper manner? Because it is very important. If we do not prepare our sample in a rightly manner, in a properly manner, our sample will not be analyzed in an accurate way or in a well precise way by the instrument. So we have to prepare our sample first. Now our sample preparation may contain several steps like dilutions, digestions, etc. Now after preparing our sample, we have to introduce our sample into the machine, that is ICP-MS. Now in this machine, what does this machine do? This machine, as when take the sample from outside source from the system, which are the external part of the system, it then ionizes your sample and creates a charged particles of those samples into the system. Now these ionization takes place inside the system, and when these ions further moves into the system, they may travel to the mass spectrometer. And at mass spectrometer, these ions, different charged particles because you all know that ions are charged particles. They may contain partial negative, partial positive charge. They may contain positive charge or negative charge. So these charged ions or charged particles may be sorted out into the system at mass spectrometer with the help of some accessories which are being present, which are being installed by the technicians, by the manufacturers in the machine. And after this sorting of the charged particles into the system, they are being quantified by the help of detector and software system. I'll show you exactly how this process may happen and what we are looking for. After running the sample, we analyze the data using the ICP-MS software. This gives us detailed information about the concentration of different elements in our sample, different trace elements in our sample. It is amazing. It is very much amazing how much information we are getting from a very much tiny amount of the sample which we have used earlier during the sample preparation initially. I will be excited to share this with you all because ICP-MS is a very much fascinating technique with applications in environmental science, material science, medicine science, etc. So if you have any questions about the process or the equipments, drop your comments in the comment box in either Hindi or English language, whatever you may have ease in. I would love to hear them from you and answer your queries you might have. Lastly, don't forget to like this video, and if you really like my video, then hit the subscribe button and share my videos as much as you can. We have got a lot of more exciting stuff coming with you, so stay tuned. Alright, let's dive into the ICP-MS and see it in action.